Have you ever wondered what Tessa James Elliott's true intentions are? We are first introduced to her during episode 2 when N has a flashback of his early life working as Tessa's servant at Elliott Manor. While there, N, V, and J serve the Elliott family for anything they may need, such as cooking food and doing the chores around the mansion. However, it wasn't until Tessa brought Sin to be a new servant is when things would change forever, because while she thought Sin was a good robot, she began to realize Sin's true plan to massacre everyone at the gala, teaming up with Zero Designation J to fight her and prevent this from even happening. But was seemingly unsuccessful, and it's implied that Sin killed everyone there, including Tessa's family. After the events of these memories, as seen in episode 5, Tessa takes the threat of Sin extremely seriously and does not trust Uzi since she is worried that she will become a global threat of the level of Sin, and wants N to take her out to prevent this from happening, but N refuses to since he loves her and does not want any harm to come to her. The theory was brought to us by @Cake3rd, another Merge Jones theorist that will be featured in today's video. So take it away, Cake3rd.
Hey there, viewer. Thanks for having me here today. So let's start with Tessa's upbringing. Somehow, until the events of the mansion, it's implied that Tessa has never had any kind of human contact besides her own parents. This is stated by her to Jay while asking her to act like a royal stud. We also know that she was being chained down on multiple occasions and was deprived of human interactions, so much so that she started making her own friends with broken robots. This could be a good build-up and motivation for an evil Tessa, a strong resentment towards her family and maybe all of humanity as well. After all, humans were abusing the robots which she had a very strong bond with, or perhaps she simply became just as narcissistic and power-hungry as the rest of her family. We can also see, based on the occult stuff around her room, that she must have been messing with unknown powers. But why? Perhaps a desperate attempt to make friends with living robots, or maybe for the purpose of gaining power to fight back and get what she wants. Ann's memories are weird and corrupted, but it's safe to say that Tessa was messing with estranged magics and robots. Perhaps she intentionally called upon the Absolute Sober and offered her family a sacrifice. I often think about why the Sober decided to wait that long. It could have just left and done its thing, but it specifically held back for the gala. But what do we know about the gala? We know that several of the Elliott family members would have been there, along with someone quite important named Lord Frumplebucket. The only thing we know about Lord Bucket is that he speaks in an Australian slang, and the only other Australian in the show is the dingo jokes that revolve around the Sentinels. Lord Bucket is the guy that starts screaming when he sees a corrupted V fighting J in the mansion. His name is also in the gala invitation that we see when Tessa holds it out for Jay, and he is also mentioned in the credits, so we know he is important to the world. It's likely that Tessa's family are large owners of the Jesse Jensen stocks, or just the company in general, hence why Jay refers to them as corporate. This includes Lord Bucket, but in the end, Tessa benefits from the massacre. She would have inherited all that power and money. Perhaps that's what it was all about at first, and then things got out of control with Sin.
Nice history lesson, but I couldn't have said it better myself. Now we must first ask why she's evil. While Tessa has other family members who are fairly wealthy, Tessa gets all the money and power while a robot gets blamed for the murders. As well, in episode 6 that end shows that she is not to be trusted to the point where not even V trusts her anymore. It's likely Tessa is gaslighting the Merge Jones into invading Copper 9 so that she can get her hands on the findings that the scientist made, and it could give her a godlike form, which keeps being foreshadowed in the show. As for what J.C. Jensen as a whole is planning, I said in my last theory how I thought they were building some sort of bioweapon creature to destroy all planets. However, this other theorist has a much different theory, so take it away.
Thanks, Drone Throne. I think they found something alien that went out of control, and it's likely they have sufficient data to mess with it. We know Tessa is smart because she repaired the drones for fun. And in episode 5, we see all manner of math formulas being written and solved in the basement where Tessa played around in. So, while your theory of bioweapons is interesting, I personally think it's more than likely that the creature we see during the Final Destination teaser is of an alien nature. And then Jesse Jensen captured it and attempted to use something they didn't understand for profit. One more thing before I go. Tessa hides many things, and I think she might be heavily augmented. Her spacesuit is just a helmet, yet has no issue breathing, and she can manhandle the disassembly drones like dolls, despite them possibly weighing several tons, and she even tries to hide this at the beginning of episode 6, hence why the Sentinels might be confused about her.
However, some see Tessa as evil because of her plan to kill Uzi and all the other drones infected with the Solver program, but this point does not make her evil necessarily, and she's likely doing this for the greater good of the universe, which she alludes to during episode 6, which she shows on just how destructive the Absolute Solver can truly be when it's left to mutate, just like what happened with Sin and the destruction of planet Earth. It tells N that he has to choose the universe over one little drone. And even if Tessa is not completely evil, she is definitely hiding many secrets behind that mask of hers. I mean, we haven't even seen her face. The only time we see it is during the memories in episode 5 Home and the flashback where she is a silhouette with white glowing eyes. And a really interesting theory I saw on Reddit that someone suggested that Tessa is evil, but she's not really Tessa, but is truly her corpse being puppeteered by Sin, and suggests Tessa had died earlier on. This may be true since we see Uzi being taken over by Sin in brief instances, most notably when she tries to use the solver from the elevator to stop the Sentinels and speaks with Sin's voice and yellow glowing face. And Tessa was very close by, so it's possible she infected Uzi at the same time. But hey, that's just a theory. A drone theory. Thanks for joining me, Cake the Third. But let me know down in the comments if you think Tessa is evil or not. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Seriously, subscribe. And click on the video here.